This is DRF Race of the Day.
The race of the day on Saturday is the Grade 2 Santa Margarita Stakes. It's race number 8 at Santa Anita, mile and 1/8 on the main track for fillies and mares, as the distaff division begins to take shape. The first 3 months of the year are typically quiet for older horses, be they colts and geldings or fillies and mares, but everything is beginning to crystallize right now, and you'll see what I mean when we put up the chart of a series of stakes races that we run, have been and will be run over a 17-day period. It was the Grade 3 Double Dog Dare last Friday at Keeneland, in which Bonnie South defeated Royal Flag. Speech was the Grade 1 winning favorite who finished dead last. She ran like she may have bled. That was the Double Dog Dare. A day later, it was the Apple Blossom, Latruska. She upset both Monomoy Girl and Swiss Skydiver, believed to be going in as the top fillies and mares in the country, but Latruska, a new name to the division, and she won as, well, I don't know if she was best. She had a great trip and she carried 6 pounds less than Monomoy Girl. Swiss Skydiver did not have a good trip and finished a distant third, but Latruska, Monomoy Girl, Swiss Skydiver, 1, 2, 3 in the Apple Blossom. Saturday is the Santa Margarita. It's the race we're going to be talking about. Next Friday at Churchill Downs is the Grade 1 La Troyenne, in which 2020 Kentucky Oaks winner She Dares the Devil is expected to start. And May 2nd at Belmont, the Grade 2 Ruffian Dunbar Road is among the nominees for the Grade 2 Ruffian at Belmont Park. So 5 graded stakes races in a span of 17 days. And we're going to find out exactly where we stand with the division after the Ruffian on May 2nd. A couple other fillies and mares who ran well recently who also could join the conversation include Cece, an impressive comeback winner last week. Horologist recently won a stakes race at Aqueduct. And so it's going to be a deep division. It always is, or generally is. And it's a lot deeper than the Santa Margarita, I can tell you that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Santa Margarita field, a field of only 5, and I do believe there's an absolute standout in this field. It's number 2, As Time Goes By, trained by Bob Baffert. Mike Smith is aboard. As Time Goes By finished second in the Grade 1 Beholder Mile last time out. She'll be heavily favored off that race. Harvest Moon, we're going to talk about her in a second. Those are really the only 2 who look like they have a shot in this field, I suppose. Lightly raced number 1, Pharaoh's Heart, adding blinkers. We'll talk about her in a minute. And the other 2 are come from behinders, just hoping to pick up the pieces, maybe hit the board and put a Grade 2 placing on their resume to enhance their future residual value as broodmares. Okay, let's first talk about the biggest enigma in this race, and that is Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon came a long way in a short period of time last year. She went from maiden to allowance to Grade 3 to Grade 2. Win, 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 win. She went on a tear last year, and she ended her campaign with a creditable 4th place finish in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She was a 3-year-old filly, Harvest Moon was at the time. Let's go ahead and roll the tape of the Breeders' Cup Distaff last fall at Keeneland, and you be the judge. Did Harvest Moon run well? I think she did. She did not win the race. No, of course not. But Monomoy Girl, Valiance, and Dunbar Road finished 1, 2, 3. But Harvest Moon hung tough to deep stretch. She finished 4th, beaten a little more than 2 lengths. And this was a good, solid effort, albeit a 4th place finish by a 3-year-old filly who was starting at the time for only the 6th time in her career. That was a good way to end her season. I know they would have liked to have finished higher than 4th, but she ran well against a good group, including Monomoy Girl. Now, the dilemma is this. When Harvest Moon returned in the Beholder Mile, she was basically flat as a pancake. She pressed the pace, and at the top of the lane, she was under a drive, and she finished nowhere. 4th by 7 lengths. I talked to her trainer, Simon Callahan, after that race, and he was kind of scratching his head. He said that she was a little bit quiet for a few days after the race, Harvest Moon was, and he really doesn't have any apparent alibi for Harvest Moon's disappointing 4th place finish as the 5-2 second or third choice in the Beholder Mile. But he did say that she has trained well since the race, and he expects Harvest Moon to improve second start of 2021. If you look at her campaign a year ago, it's kind of similar to what Callahan hopes transpires this year, and that is start off slow and build as the season goes on. Now, I have a theory, and I probably shouldn't even be talking about it because I haven't really done all the research. But when 3-year-old fillies campaign all the way through the end of the year, including the Breeders' Cup Distaff, a lot of times they don't always reproduce that form the following year at age 4. There are plenty of exceptions, and I will go in depth into this theory, a great imaginative, creative, anti-handicapping theory that 3-year-old fillies do not always reproduce their form the following year when they campaign through the Breeders' Cup. But I just want, and there's plenty of exceptions. Monomoy Girl for an exception. She won in 2018 as a 3-year-old filly. It took her a long time to get back to the races, though, didn't it? There are lots of 3-year-old fillies who campaign through the Breeders' Cup that do not reproduce their best form the following year. And I wonder if Harvest Moon might fall into that category. We're going to find out on Saturday because she should improve second start back. Okay, if there's an upsetter in the 5-horse field, it would probably be a filly who has plenty of room to improve because she's only started 3 times. That's number 1, Pharaoh's Heart. Let's go ahead and take a look at her most recent start. Pharaoh's Heart was facing a graded stakes place comebacker named Crystal Ball. And Pharaoh's Heart ran well. I thought she would win this race. I really did. She was stretching out from a pair of sprints, but Crystal Ball was cranked. She had the class advantage off her form a year ago, and Crystal Ball was able to hold off Pharaoh's Heart. Pharaoh's Heart ran okay. She only got beat a length. She adds blinkers on Saturday. Umberto Rispoli is aboard for John Velasquez. And Pharaoh's Heart, I guess she's, the one horse if you wanted to take a shot at a price in a 5-horse field. I don't think she's good enough yet, but maybe she is. She's only her 4th start. That's number 1, Pharaoh's Heart. Okay, the horse to beat, I think she's kind of a standout. She's As Time Goes By. Number 2, As Time Goes By, a daughter of American Pharaoh. She's a sibling to a pair of Grade 1 winners, and she took a while to come around. She came in late to the Baffert stable. He was never in a hurry with her. She's a tall, leggy daughter of American Pharaoh, and she has gone from strength to strength. In fact, let's take a look at her 2 most recent starts, starting with January 17th. Okay, it was an allowance race, and she was expected to win. She was 3-5 on the board, and she won by 9 lengths without being asked one bit. A 9-length one other than romp in which she earned a 99 Beyer speed figure. She would come right back the following month, jumping from one other than into the Grade 1 Beholder Mile. She didn't win this race. It was won by Swiss Skydiver, but As Time Goes By ran well in defeat. She was keen early. She lost ground rallying wide. She finished with interest. Nobody was going to beat Swiss Skydiver this day, but As Time Goes By ran well to finish second, a clear, decisive second. On Saturday, she faces a very modest cast, and I do include Harvest Moon in that modest cast characterization. And I do believe that Mike Smith is going to ask As Time Goes By, or allow her to maybe use her speed a little bit more. They're going 1 1/8. Speed is always powerful at long distances, including 1 1/8 on the main track at Santa Anita. And I think that Smith is going to let her roll from the gate. Established position. If she's not on the lead, she will be forwardly placed, and I think she blows this field away. She's likely to be heavily favored. I expect As Time Goes By to win the Grade 2 Santa Margarita as the most probable winner Saturday at Santa Anita.